So, so thanks so much for coming on, Bridget. Appreciate you being here tonight, pulling over on the side of the road.
You're welcome.
So awesome.
Yeah. We've been camping today in Big Sur, and so I asked Justin to pull over, put a hat on, put some earrings on, and kind of get myself a little bit presentable for you guys. But thank you so much for having me on the call. And the kids are inside. I'm in here, or they're inside, in and out. Okay, that's a California thing. And they're getting some shakes while I can have some quiet time in the RV.
Nice.
But when Chad asked me to do a Zoom call, you guys are going to laugh, but I was very intimidated because I haven't held my own Zoom calls before. And so I'm asking my older son, how do we set this up? Let's do this, And so I've kind of ran my my business very basic, and I just finally got a MacBook Air 2 days ago. I've ran my business 100% from my phone. I don't really recommend it, but I never had any network marketing experience. I mean, I was a stay-at-home mom. I would post on Instagram and on Facebook pictures of my kids and things like that, but not business-minded. And so when you're asking me to do things out of my comfort zone, like Zoom calls or three-way calls, that is something that I've learned in this business that you need to get out of your comfort zone. And so this was just one of those, okay, Bridget, you got to do it. Just.
I think we lost you.
You there, Bridget? Come back.
And what was that?
Oh, you went freeze frame for a second.
Oh,
that's cool.
I was just saying, with this business, fear gets in the way, but you need to replace fear with faith. And that's what I've really learned in the last 13 months. Would you like me to start with my story or?
Yeah, so let me just, if I may just jump in, just to give a quick preface. So we, Krista and you met what was it, a couple years ago?
Probably, I don't know, 5 years ago?
5 years ago.
We were both pregnant with number 6.
Okay.
Yeah, so 6 years ago.
So we, and then a year ago, Krista got started with Plexus or so, and then shortly thereafter, all of a sudden, we saw Bridget got started, and her business just grew like crazy and has continued to grow like crazy. And so it's just so cool. We've been cheering you on the side, and just it's been to us, your growth has motivated us to continue to grow, and it's gotten us out of our comfort zone and created such a believability that, when it's someone that goes Emerald, and then they go Sapphire, and then they're about to hit Diamond, it's like, oh my goodness, this isn't just like the Celeste Gwens of the world. This is our friends that, just got in and are going to the top as well. So we just appreciate you setting the example, and just it's been great just to watch you on the sidelines and cheer you on. So yeah, whatever God's put on your heart to share, have at it. And then, if you guys if you guys have questions, you want to put those in the chat. Maybe if we have a few minutes at the end, we can tackle a couple, but otherwise take as long as you want, and we're excited to hear from you.
Okay, well, you know what? Thank you. I know that we're not on the same team, but you guys have always been supportive and cheering me on, and vice versa. I know Krista and I have had some great conversations, and so I'm so thankful for you guys. And I know my husband actually didn't jump on until, almost a year later, and because of watching you guys do it together. And so that really inspired us to make it something we could do together. So we're learning off of you guys, and I hope that we can inspire and encourage some of you. Basically, I started on these products 2 years ago. They changed my life. I have a similar story to Krista. I suffered from anxiety and just getting really tired all the time. And I just chalked it up to having 6 kids at the time, and soon became pregnant. My OBGYN and midwife approved my products, and I stayed on them and felt amazing for my 7th pregnancy. And my friends could tell the difference, because the friends that had known me the last 6 pregnancies are going, wait, Bridget, you're totally different this time. You have energy and you feel better. What's going on? And so I told my friends to order from my friend's website. I know, blonde moment there. But I was not going to do an MLM. I had done MLMs in the past. I've done network marketing companies when we were first married. And they really didn't work for me. I ended up feeling like a failure because my personality is very driven, and I'm either all in or not. And so when I set my mind to something and it doesn't work out, I get very discouraged. So I decided I would never do a network marketing company again. But my friend in Arkansas, Rhonda Shaw, she's my upline, she said, Bridget, you really need to pray about getting your own website. I will help you do this. And so it took me 9 months. She was very patient with me, and I decided on April 1st of 2015 to jump on board. And I was just going to make enough money, like we all say, to cover the cost of my husband's products and my products, and maybe get some of the kids on some probiotics, okay? That was 14 months ago. And the Lord had other plans because, like I said, I really didn't know how a network marketing company ran, even though I ran it in the past, 10, 15 years ago. We didn't have Instagram. We didn't have Facebook. We did old-fashioned parties, at our houses. And that stressed me out because, your house had to be clean and you had to know math because you had to figure out taxes and everything right then and there at the party. And I just didn't want to do with that. So here we are, 14 months later, made Sapphire, hoping to be the first Southern California diamond in 9 days, counting down.
Oh my goodness.
And it's exciting. And so I just want to start this call off with saying, if I can do this, you guys, anybody can, really.
Come back.
For success. Now, Chad asked me to share how I've done it, how I've moved fast. And, a lot of people say, how did you grow so fast? I have a lot of level ones. I grew very wide. And that, I would say, is from 36 years of building relationships, not with having a network marketing in mind. I'm pretty much an accidental brand. I got on social media. I started sharing about my family, sharing about the way we raise our kids. Just it naturally came, and I branded myself that way. So now what I'm teaching my team is how to brand yourself, because I fell into an accidental brand, and I've built probably 75% of my business off of Instagram through hashtags. I will take a picture and hashtag homeschool mom, boy mom, anything that's trending, anything that I can attract new prospects to. And then, then they'll get the commercial and create curiosity on there, and they'll get the commercial of Plexus. Right now, as we're traveling around the country, my husband used to work 60 hours a week. Now we have a swimming pool business, and he's able to hire employees to help with that. And so he can be home with us, and we have the freedom to travel. And with that, we can work our businesses. And so what I'm hashtagging now is retired young, or time freedom, I love Mondays, things like that. And when people stumble across those hashtags, it's going to create curiosity, and they're going to go, wait, how does a family of 9 travel around the country, and what do they do for a living? And that's kind of how we market ourselves. For example, when we were in Big Sur this morning, parked with our RV, a young couple with their first 5-week-old baby, so cute, came up to us and said, "Are those all your kids?" And we said, "Yes." And they go, "Wow, what do you guys do?" Because they looked at our motorhome. And my husband goes, "Well, we're network marketers." And he started talking to the young man, and they're going to be signing up with us. They own a vegan restaurant. Okay, so
Wow.
Awesome.
I think they're going to be great. But that's just natural. Another way I believe that I've grown my team is creating momentum. Once we got momentum going, I don't know, you silvers, once you get, I try to get all my team to go to silver. Okay, even if they don't want to work the business, get them to go silver to help offset the cost of their own products. And then through that, I try to create duplication out of those 3. You know, we've all heard the power of 3. And so I have a lot of level 1s who are silver, but yet they're not wanting to work the business. But I have grandbabies. So basically, I have a lot of level 2s that I'm working with and trying to get them going that I would have never had if my level 1 wouldn't have known them. So that's a whole, for example, I have a level 1 that signed up her sister who is head of the MOPS group. So I've got all the MOPS girls, but I wouldn't have gotten those girls if it wasn't for her signing up. So I really try to focus on that. I never go into management mode. I think the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. So I think that if you guys are, and this doesn't just go for Chad and Krista, it's you guys each individually have your own businesses. If your team starts seeing you growing, it kind of builds that momentum. People ask me, well, you know, how do you build momentum? I would say being the speed of the leader. The speed of the leader is the speed of the team. I would say meetings make money. 3-way calls are something that has really boosted my business. I haven't done Zoom calls, but I'm getting to the point where I need to because I have so many 3-way calls I'm doing that if I could just bunch them into some Zoom calls, I can do that. But there is something special about 3-way calls. You can really connect with the people. And I'm talking 3-way calls right when somebody gets signed up, encouraging them to go silver. Just even an encouragement call is very powerful. And also prospect calls. If you have somebody that's interested, say, hey, I would love to get you on the phone with my friend Krista or my friend Chad. You know, just if you have 10 or 15 minutes, you know, just get them on. And those have been very helpful. Another thing that's built momentum is giveaways on our team page. My team seems to like giveaways. And so if we do that, they really seem to work. We're a competitive group of people, and so that has helped. Is there anything that I'm missing? I'm probably going on different rabbit trails, but
these are good points. You're frozen a little bit, a lot. There you are. You froze for a second.
Yeah, you guys did too.
Yeah.
Am I missing anything?
No, it's awesome. It's good stuff. Keep going.
So I covered. I covered a little bit of marketing, how I use hashtags and I build my brand. I talked a little bit about momentum. I'm trying to think. What are the levels of your team right now that are listening? I mean, do you have a lot of golds or silvers?
Gold to just getting started.
Primary.
Okay. I would say in my experience from my team is it's the hardest getting from silver to gold. I tell my girls, if you can hang in there, and my guys, if you can hang in there and really push forward and create that foundational team, hang with me. You know, a lot of people that I see quit between silver and gold. Mm-hmm. So if you can get the ball really starts to roll when you get to gold, and you work with your upline and you strategize and troubleshoot and get your team, teach that duplication down. And as you keep growing, I try to always sign at least. For me, I sign a lot of level 1s just because my warm market is pretty large. But I'm always trying to sign people up, at least going silver every month, if not more. So that and I tell everybody on my team to at least go silver every month. We can all go find 3 people. And I'm trying to think what else. You know, meetings make money. We've heard Celeste Gwen say that. Meetings do not have to be fancy. I think that I'm traveling around the country, and I've done a meeting where I've walked in with a water bottle, a packet of Slim, and some Dixie cups. And I said, hey, guys, I'm so sorry. We've been on the road all day, but I want to share what I'm so passionate about. And I just started talking about Plexus. I was very genuine, very real, and very simple and very duplicatable. The people in the audience thought, you know what, I could do this. She didn't come in with a big presentation and flashy screen. And I even joke, you know, hey, I work 100% from my phone. And they all laughed. And they appreciated that because they thought, you know what, I could do this too. I could do this business. And that's what you want to teach. You want to teach duplication. Don't do anything that would be hard for your downline to do. And I don't know if I usually get my my team to start their own team pages. I think you need to run your team page as a jewel. Even if you're not a jewel, you need to act like a jewel. And I remember when I started, I told Rhonda, I'm not going to start a team page because nobody is even liking anything I post on it. And she said, create something that will be there when people are ready to join, and already have that created. And so I did. And then now my team page is very active. So those are just some things. Is there any questions? I feel like I have so much to say. I'm just not sure what you guys want me to talk on.
That's good.
That's good.
Any questions?
So obviously through the promo and stuff, a lot of the people on the call had sponsored a lot of new people. Okay. Any suggestions in terms of, like, I know you kind of vaguely mentioned as far as the three-way call, not vaguely, but you talked about three-way call and whatnot. Maybe could you drill down, like, if you were one of these people and they just registered their friend or family in this last 15% off promo, and they're trying to figure out how to get them started, what would be some of, like, more maybe tactical nuggets that you would tell them to do? Does that make sense?
Right. Well, what I usually do is start people off on a three-way call. I tell my downline to set up a time with me, or most of my level ones are trained enough to do their own three-way calls. So I have them do them. Every once in a while, I'll get on one. But as far as my level ones, I have three-way calls with them and their new prospect. And so what I do is I get them on. They introduce me. This is our upline, Bridget. I'd love you to meet her. And I kind of do a welcome. Welcome to the team. It's so nice to have you, whether they're interested in running the business or not. Okay. We try to get them on a welcome call. And how I open up my calls is I just ask them, what is your reason for joining Plexus? Whether it's the product and I kind of get a feel. So they'll say, well, I'd like to lose weight or this and that. And so I can kind of troubleshoot the products there. That takes maybe a minute or 2 minutes. Okay. And then I say, and what would you like to get out of the business side of Plexus? What are your goals with that? And I'll have some of them say, well, I'm not interested in running the business, and that's where I'm going to try and get them to at least get their products paid for. I'll go down that route. And then some of them say, well, I would just like to get my products paid for, or, maybe make a couple $100s a month. And then I usually come back and say a short 2-3 minute testimony. That's how I started. I just wanted to get my products free, but in 13 months, I've made it to the top of the company, and I'll kind of share. If you don't have that story yet, I didn't either. I was doing three-way calls back when I was gold. In fact, my son is going to be 8 months in a couple days. And I was gold when I had him in the hospital. And I look back at that, and I went senior gold when he was a couple weeks old. And look how fast that can happen. And so I was doing three-way calls then, and I was telling my sorry, I keep freezing, huh?
That's all right.
Keep going.
I put an Instagram post up with my first paycheck with Plexus, and I was able to take the whole family to pizza. And I remember putting that post up and saying, Mom's paying tonight, or Mom's treating tonight. And I remember thinking, oh, this is not a big deal. People are not going to be impressed with this, but they were. Mm-hmm. They love to watch my journey. I've had a lot of people who have watched my journey and saw that this is the real deal, and so with that said, on those three-way calls, I tell a little bit about my story. And then from there, depending on how the call goes, I tell them, I'd love to see you stick with this for at least 60 days. And then I go into telling them the daily method of operation. I train my team what to do, that if you're going to work Plexus as a business, you're going to get a business paycheck, a serious paycheck. If you work Plexus just here and there, or kind of sort of, you're going to kind of sort of get a paycheck. when I decided to I drew my line in the sand when I went to convention of last year. When I went, I had 4 people on my team in June. And I actually saw Krista there, and I really wasn't sure if I was going to do Plexus seriously. I was just Rhonda was in town, and I thought, well, it looks fun. It's my daughter's birthday. We'll do a little getaway. And when I was there and I saw the culture of Plexus and the people there, I just thought, you know what, this is something I can attach my name to. This is something I want to be a part of. And that was June, and I drew my line in the sand that night. And I told my daughter, I'm going to be on stage next year. And she's like, I know you will, Mom. And my goal was to be Ruby for this year's convention. So I'm kind of excited that I surpassed the goal. But long story short, so I tell them that, try to go to meetings, try to get to convention. I kind of take them through that. And then I talk about the daily method of operation on how to grow your business. You need to constantly post on Facebook. It shows that you're open for business. You need to reach out to people because people are not going to come to you just by posting on Facebook. People do not want to see a infomercial. They don't want to see bottles of probiotic and bags of Slim all along your Facebook. They will block you. They want to see your story. People buy from you because of you. They don't buy, most of the people that buy from me are because they've trusted me. And I've earned that credibility with them over the years. And even my new prospects, they're following me because of me. Maybe they have large families. Maybe they homeschool. Maybe they want to travel someday, so they're inspired. And a lot of my team, I'll give you an example. One of the gals on my team her children are grown. And she said, you know what, Bridget, I just don't post like you do. I don't have the things you have to post about. And so I don't get how I can get prospects. And I said, you need to find what you're good at. What do you do? And market that way. She's a makeup artist. She does makeups for brides. And I said, you need to start doing tutorials of makeup and hashtag makeup, smoky eye, evening wear, bridal, brides, wedding, whatever you can to go with that picture or that video. And it's going to drag people that are interested in that, and that's going to create new prospects. So it is so wide out there. You don't have to put yourself in a box. You can brand yourself many different ways. Just figure out what you're good at, what you know a lot about. I've got a lot of girls on my team that are very knowledgeable when it comes to health as far as food and vegan and GMO. And so they market themselves that way, and they have a lot of people following them for that. And so then they create, and then Plexus will come up, and it may be them on a hike with their pink drink. And people will say, what is that? So, if you're a homeschool mom, if you're into fashion, if you're into knitting, I don't care what you're into, you can make a brand for that. You can create that brand and create new prospects. Obviously, go after your warm market, which is your family, your friends, your neighbors. I encourage my team to build a Franks list. I don't know if you guys, if you do that, but the Franks list, friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, kids, spouse. And I have my whole family staring at me.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to be professional here, and they are all making funny faces at me. And so I'm just trying to stay focused. But
Mom, let me in.
Yes, let us in. So anyway. That's
fantastic.
Yeah. Like I said, when we first started this call, you guys, if I can do this, anyone can. Is there any questions? I mean, there's so much I would like to talk about, but I don't know, any on here that you guys have questions for me, I'd love to help.
As a busy mom, have you just had to be a little bit out of balance for the last year? Or how have you run everything? And still balance the homeschooling and everything, and the farm and all your animals and everything.
At convention last year, I waited in line to talk to Brenda Martin for probably a good half hour because I had the same question. How do you do this with 11 children in homeschool? And we quickly realized that this is going to be a family affair. This isn't something mom just goes and does. So I always treat this business as a family business. Yes, mom's on a call, but you know, when we're done, we're all going to pick up the RV. Mom's going to on a call. Dad's going to take you to go get that. But after, we're going to our friend's house. You know, we're always, when I promoted, it was, we bought these pink dresses and we hung them in the closet, and we said, when mommy goes Emerald, you guys get to wear your Plexus Lexus dresses. That's what they called them. And so everything that I do, it's always their opinions. What do you guys think about this? Or can you help me with this? My son usually does all the videos, and he's working on editing videos. My daughter knows how to work my whole back office, my 14-year-old daughter. So if I'm driving in the car and I say, hey, you know, Jennifer wants to see if she ranked to gold. Can you go ahead and see if it turned over yet? She knows how to do all of that stuff. Can you go see what day David's auto ship comes out? He wants to know. Can you check that for me? Just doing it as a business and rewarding them. You know, we're getting to take them all to Hawaii. But one of the things that Brenda Martin said that really stuck with me is be a master of moments. When I'm done with this call, I'm going to take this hat off and I'm going to be mom, you know, and my phone's going to get put away. But then tonight, I have several messages that I need to catch up on because I haven't had Wi-Fi for 24 hours. And so my team needs me. So tonight, after I get the kids in bed, I'm going to put back on my hat and work Plexus for a good probably hour. But I do want to tell you, Krista, and the other moms out there, is we have sacrificed a lot this last year. I'm not going to say it comes easy and here we are, we're going to be diamond. We have sacrificed a lot. I pulled my kids out of 4-H. I pulled my kids out of sports. I pulled them out of all the extracurricular activities because as a family, we decided that our goal was to go all the way with Plexus and work hard so that we could bring Daddy home. Because my husband was working 60 hours a week. He would come home exhausted, and we never saw him. I felt like a single mom, and so that is what drives me. And I want to go back really quick because when I said I started out that call and I asked them their why, you know, why did you start Plexus and what is your why for doing it? That is what I think the most important part of those three-way calls is getting to hear their why. And you can sometimes people don't even know their why yet. Sometimes they say, well, you know, I just want to lose some weight and because I work and it's really hard to, you know, I don't have the energy. And so I'll kind of talk to them and see, you know, would you be interested in not working your job anymore? Would you be interested in maybe going to part-time and getting residual income? You know what residual income is? And kind of sharing with them and honestly helping them from my heart, sharing what Plexus can do not only in our products, but in our compensation plan. I mean, our compensation plan, you guys, is unmatched in the industry. I cannot believe how generous it is. I keep telling my husband, I feel a little guilty on what they pay me because I don't think I work enough to get paid this, you know? Now, granted, I don't want you guys to think on this team that the newbies that, oh, okay, I just joined and it's a free lotto ticket. No, a lot of work goes in. I do put in a lot of work and time. A lot of time late nights. I pull very late nights to catch up on work. And now that my husband is off more, he helps balance a lot of it out. So yeah, it's dedication. I think the two things that I really stress with my team is consistency and persistency. Make sure that you're always consistent. I'll stop. Yeah. Okay. So it's the wildest roller coaster ride I've ever been on. There's days where, you know, somebody calls me and says that the Slim is making them sick or you know, for some reason they want to quit. Now, that doesn't happen a lot because our triplex has a 90% success rate and a 1% return rate. I mean, it rarely happens, but when it does, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was my aunt and she quit and I hate this. I can't, you know, I'm a people pleaser and I just tell Justin, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And then the next day I get paid and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the best business ever. I love Plexus. And then the next day, you know, shipping, somebody didn't get their shipment, and I feel like a weight on my shoulder, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. So it is to be consistent no matter what, and push through and be persistent in this business. Keep your blinders on and stay focused and work, and know that you guys, candles and nails and oils and all of that is great. I love it. I buy it all. I buy the face creams. I buy the bags, purses, leggings, all of that. Okay. But what we're in is life-changing products. Something that I could stand behind and say, what drives me is when people come back to me and say, Bridget, thank you so much. I can get off the couch now and be the mom I've always wanted to be. Or, you know, this is probably not compliant, so I shouldn't say it, but, you know, people coming with different, I'm going to try to stay compliant. I wasn't going to, but people that, that have different things going on in their bodies that, and Plexus has helped, when nothing else has. You know, you get that call and they're crying on the phone and you're like, this is why I'm doing it. I'm literally part of something that's helping change lives. And God, it's humbling to know that God is using us in the middle of it. And so that's what drives me, to know that that is a confirmation to know that we're in something that is so much bigger than we even realize, you know? So yeah, so just keep those blinders on and keep focused, because there's going to be days where it's going to be hard, but it's so worth it. So worth it.
Want to ask the question that was on the chat?
Yep. Go ahead.
Oh, so a gal on our team.
Sneeze.
You do it. You.
So I had a question come up, and someone said, talking to people in face-to-face is easy, but how do you reach out on Facebook, and what do you say in terms of getting someone that's interested? How do you reach out?
Okay. I would actually say, for me, it's harder face-to-face. On Facebook, I feel like I can share. So it's easier for me. So I guess I can probably come. What I do is, Facebook is basically just getting people's attention and letting them know you're open for business. When I reach out to people, what really changed my business and what's changing my downline's business is I tell them, do not type anything out. Do not send text messages. Do not send a typed message out. I want them to hear your voice. You need to use your voice recorder and, you know, say, hi, this is Krista. How are you doing? I hope your day's going well. I was thinking about you. I know you've probably seen my Plexus posts, but I wanted to reach out to you and see if you knew what Plexus was, if you had any questions, and if there's anything in your health that you would like to improve. All right, I hope to hear from you soon. Have a good day. Something 20 seconds, simple, use your voice, let them hear the sincerity behind your voice. And that's what I say the first step. Is reaching out. Now, there's three things that's going to happen. They're either going to ignore you. That means you just get a follow-up with them. They're going to say, no, thank you. And that's usually when I ask for a referral. If they have anyone that, you know, in their family that could benefit from these products that help with regulating their blood sugars, or, you know, I kind of go through that and gut health and see if they know anyone. And that might trigger some of these people to say, well, my dad has diabetes. Maybe you can talk to him, or can I get some more information for him? That's how I go about that. Or they say, yes, please tell me more. Now, I think this is where I'm key. I've signed up about 260 level ones. How many? So I've grown very wide. Not all of them are on. I do have some white lines, but I think the reason I've done that is, and I want to share with you guys kind of how I've done that, is when people say, yes, I'm interested in Plexus, I go simply straight to signing them up. I say, you know, I start 99% of my customers on the triplex, because I believe that getting to the root of the problem, that's where we start. And then I go into the different ways to order. I usually send them a video on the triplex so that I'm not spending a lot of time explaining, because people don't want information overload, okay? They're coming to you. They want to know what to order and how to order. And people are fast paced. They don't want, what's in it. There's some that do, and that's fine. But for most of the people, they want to know what to order. Then I send them a video. I usually send them Ame Darlene's video. I really like the way she explains it. She's a natural, a natural, what is she? A natural,
something.
She's natural.
She's natural.
I think she's a nutritionist.
Yes, thank you. I'm like, you're right. Okay, she's a nutritionist. Thank you. And so what I usually click over that video, and then I say there's 3 ways to order. And then I go through this. I say you can order as a retail customer for $140, which I don't recommend because that's the most expensive way. Or you can order as a preferred customer and change or cancel your order at any time for $125. But what I did, and most of my friends are doing to get the best price, is to order as a wholesale customer. That's $34.95, kind of like a Costco membership. But that's going to allow you to buy your products at 25% off. And what I also love about that option is you can buy a welcome pack and get that triplex for only $99. Or if you want to start it with your husband and you guys can do this together, you can get 2 of them for only $199. So that's a great deal. And so it's super simple. You're going to go to my website, and then I leave my link below. And this is all me talking, okay? And I'm just being real with them. They're hearing my voice. Then I leave my link below, and I say, and how you order is you simply click on that. If you want to order retail or preferred, just go ahead and hit Shop Plexus. But if you want to get that deal for $99, you're going to want to go ahead and hit Join Plexus. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm telling them how to do it. Yes, I gave them the options, but now I'm kind of bumping up the last option because it is the best option. It's better for them and it's better for us. So I say go ahead and hit Join Plexus at the top right. That's going to take you to where it says English or Spanish. Then it's going to take you to a gray box that says Ambassador. Go ahead and click the gray box. That's going to then take you to those welcome packs I was talking about. Go ahead and pick the triplex. You're going to want to make sure your backup order's on. Pick the triplex again there just to make sure you're commission qualified to earn. This is where you want to make sure you say this. To earn income back on your own products. Then I say, you do not need to run this as a business, but if you love it like I did and so many others, and you might want to tell your mom or your sister about it and give her your website instead of mine. That can really help offset the cost of your own products, and I'll help you with that. All right, when you're done, you're going to get an email, and I'll get an email confirming that you're all signed up. Then I'll add you to my private page on Facebook. And it's a great place for encouragement and support. And I can't wait. I'm so excited for you. All right, I'll talk to you soon. I keep it simple. I gave them all the directions there. I told them how to order. I told them what to order. I told them the best way to order. And then I leave it up to them. I let them feel like they're in charge, even though I pretty much told them what to do. So I would say 9 out of 10 times they sign up as a wholesale customer. So once they sign up, I hook them up on my team page. If you don't have a team page yet, you hook them up on your uplines team page. You welcome them, and you get on a 3-way call with them. You get them going, and then what is key is, just encouraging them, being in touch with them. I kind of become their coach, and their cheerleader. And then what I've noticed is as soon as they hit silver, when's the last time us moms or adults ever get recognized for something or cheered on for something? I've noticed that people really like that. And so, you know what, when your downline goes silver, make a big deal out of it. It's big. When they go gold, make an even bigger deal out of it. And so that just encourages people. And usually I add everybody to my team page, whether they want to run the business or not. And most of them end up catching the vision like I did. I did not. Rhonda added me to her team page, and I wasn't really going to run the business, but I caught the vision there. So I know I tend to go off. You asked me a simple question, and
that was so good.
That's awesome.
That was perfect.
Okay.
So do you generally not even use the term ambassador on your team? Like in terms of, like you said, wholesale customer. So
right. And I think it's all in the wording that you use and your terminology. When I'm talking to somebody that does not want to run the business, I don't say ambassador. I will say wholesale customer. If I know, I was talking to a guy the other day who doesn't even know what our products are, but he saw our compensation plan and he's a salesperson, very business minded, very smart. He signed up, and I used ambassador, and I used the business side terms to him because that's who I was talking to. But if I'm not sure who I'm talking to, I'll use wholesale buyer, just because I think a lot of people are turned off because they're coming into it thinking I don't want to do this as a business, which is okay. But I think when they get in it and they catch the vision and they see other people on the team promoting and other people, I've had a lot of people. Say, do not assume anything. You never know who's gonna be a runner for you. Another thing I want to encourage you guys is, I know I said I signed 200 and I think it's 63 level ones. Don't feel like you need to have a bunch of, you personally sign up a bunch of people. That's not how this business works. Yes, it's great to grow wide. The wider you are, the faster. I have a lot of silvers on my team, and that's why I'm promoting to diamond. I finally have a senior ruby, but most of my team is a bunch of silvers. So most emeralds only have about 35 direct level ones. And so you only need about 2 runners on your team. And I tell my team, if you have a team of 20 people, chances are you probably only have 1 runner out of that 20, and that's okay. That's normal. You just work, you run with your runners, and you keep digging for those from my pace. Basically, like, you just keep digging, and if you have to get to gold by yourself, that's okay. You get to gold by yourself. I got to gold pretty much by myself, and then I started getting my girls. They were running, and now my team is just amazing. They're on fire. They're building their own teams, and it's exciting, but you just have to keep that momentum going. Show them, be an example for your team. Be the speed of the leader is the speed of the team, and your team's going to start catching on and wanting to roll with you. So.
Excellent stuff.
Great stuff.
Thank you. That is amazing. Good stuff.
Any other questions that anyone else has while we have her final days of being a Sapphire?
My word. Oh my goodness.
I'm praying. I hope nobody turns off.
Something that has been intriguing, I just saw one of your posts the other day, Bridget, and you mentioned somebody said something to you about ministry, and you showed a dialogue, and I just love that you showed that, because that's our heart, and a lot of people that are on this call right now are believers as well. And so just for a few moments, maybe just share kind of how you've seen the last 13 months, with this huge team, how this has kind of been a ministry in your life.
Well, it's not something that I expected. I've always been, mission minded as far as, Lord, where can you use me? You tell me to go right, I'll go right. You tell me to go left. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Okay. I've always been mission minded, and with Plexus, one thing that I didn't realize that would come with this these products is people come to you and they seem to open up to you and tell you their problems, because if they know that you care, they don't care how much you know, they just know that you care, and they'll come to you and they'll trust you and they'll share with you. And a lot of times that opens the door for you to share true hope with them. Yes, we have amazing products. For example, Krista, I think we all know her story, was suffering from depression. And yes, we have a probiotic and products that are going to help heal her gut in return, that will help her with that. However, if she was not a Christian, it would open up the door for me to share that Christ really is her only hope. And those conversations have come up so many times where people, are desperate to be pregnant after 3 years of trying, but now their hormones have regulated, and they're normal again. And so they're asking me to pray for them, pray that they get pregnant. And that, I mean, it's daily that this has come up, and it's opened up a whole other ministry and a whole nother crowd of people that I would have never talked to. And so I've been able to share the gospel, I would say just almost as much as I've shared the products, because they go hand in hand, really. When you're a believer and you're sharing with somebody, and I believe healing comes from, spiritual, physical, and mentally. And so you can't just talk about mentally and physically without even touching on the spiritual side of it. So it just basically comes, and I think that people appreciate that because you're being real with them. And I speak like that to non-believers. And they've asked me, I think you also end up holding their credibility again because you're sharing these and they're coming to you. And so, it's been a ministry. It's opened up now financially. That's been a whole nother ministry now that, we got married young, had babies young, basically lived paycheck to paycheck just to feed our own family. But now we are able to give more like we've never imagined. And so that's my heart, is to be able to give and help other ministries. I mean, Christians, what do ministries need? Volunteers and financial, right? And what does Plexus give you? Plexus gives you a great paycheck, and Plexus gives you time freedom to where you can retire from an 8 to 5 job and you can have more time to invest in ministries, whether it's standing on the sidewalks of abortion mills, or it's, being able to volunteer over in a foreign country, or, visiting the elderly, whatever it may be. Justin and our heart is to be full-time American missionaries right now. And, our country needs the Lord too. So, anyway.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. We don't want to keep your family waiting outside of the RV any longer. They're like pressed against the glass.
Yes. Yes. Oh, thank you so much for having me on. I hope that I was able to share a little bit to help some of you.
Yeah.
And go Team Deary. You guys are doing it, and I'm excited, and I can't wait to see more promotions from your team, and see you guys in June at convention.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks again. Appreciate
All right.
you.
Thanks, Chad. Take care.
See you later.
Bye.